Hey, fun fact. So we did video for this one like we do for all of our full-size lounges, and guess what? It's super janky and it didn't work and it was broken. So no video for this one, and I think I have a solution for that in the future. We'll see. So enjoy this news episode, and next episode will be John Wick 4. Thank you, everyone. I don't know how to stop this recording. Ben, my name's Marshall, and I am here.
Hi, Marshall.
To do the news and to talk about stuff. I'm gonna talk all through the news of the week. Except it's actually a couple weeks and it's the whole episode. Da-da-da. Here's what happened is I thought that I was singing the George Street Shuffle.
You weren't.
And I was not. That is a different piece of royalty-free music that is on the YouTube library that DankPods uses to show the difference in audio sound.
Oh, lovely.
And I get it stuck in my head, and for some reason I often think that it's the George Street Shuffle,
Well,
and it's not.
It's called jazz, and jazz could be whatever you want it to be.
And I welcome you to the episode. I can do that
Thank
too.
you.
We can all make this weird pose. Give me a fist bump, pal.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay, everybody, we got a freaking cool podcast for you today. Marshall has acquired all of the news from the internet.
Yeah.
He's actually an AI bot now.
The whole news.
And I specifically have not looked at the news in weeks for this episode, which is not entirely true. But I was out of town this last weekend, Marshall, and I didn't have a cell phone. So
Okay.
I legitimately am pretty cold on what's been going on in the news the past 4 days at least.
Okay.
Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting off the show with the Trump indictment. Let's talk about that,
We
Marshall.
are?
Here we go. Trump indictment.
I don't think that's a good idea.
On Cinema Lounge, we talk about movie stars, and as we all know, Donald Trump is a movie star. Thank you, Home Alone 2. So
I'm so glad we're doing this suddenly.
here we go. Trump, what's the deal with that guy?
That's a good question.
He's in New York now. Anyway, we don't have to actually talk about this. Marshall, tell the listeners what you've got planned.
Well, I have a lot of news here, and I'm quickly scrolling through Twitter to see if there's any extra news that I do not have that I would want to have, but I don't think I do.
Okay.
And that's fine, except UFC and WWE are officially merging,
What?
which is not in our purview.
I want
but
to see that. I want to see a real WWE fighter go in against what did you say it was who? UFC? UFC?
Yeah, UFC and WWE.
And I want to see them fight it out. I mean, Ronda Rousey had a great move from UFC to WWE, so why don't we talk about WWE in the Cinema Lounge? Honestly, we should do a
could.
deep history dive into WWE, WWF stuff. That'd be kind of fun.
I've watched a video on it. It is kind of weird and interesting. WrestleMania is happening right now.
Last night.
Yeah, that too.
Wait.
I don't know what I'm talking about, Ben.
Okay.
I know about movies.
Okay. Speaking of good movies about fighters like that, have you seen Peanut Butter Falcon?
I haven't.
It's very good.
I have an aversion to Shia LaBeouf, but
What?
I understand
Are you
that
serious?
it's supposed to be good. I don't have interest in the man.
But any interest?
Not really.
I think he's kind of fascinating.
I guess.
Shia LaBeouf.
He's
Everything
also
in your
like
window.
maybe a major creep, but
Yeah,
also
yeah.
not sure.
I don't know. He seems like a complicated human.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, we are. That's beautiful.
The point is, Ben, I've got some news.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the news. There's the camera. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to go through it. We're going to try to do a shorter episode here, partially because we have been spending a lot of time together being friends today.
Yeah, we got coffee
And
and we
I got tea.
I had a lemon bar
You did have a lemon bar.
and then we ate Chipotle.
We ate Chipotle.
Pretty much we're white girls.
We spent all of our time being friends, and now we ran out of significant enough time to do a full-size
Yeah,
lounge.
John Wick would have been good timing for people interested in such things on the internet.
Next week,
The algorithm, trust the process.
whatever.
We're having fun.
We're having so much fun, and today we're going to have fun by doing loose, tight news. It's all news, and you're going to hear about it.
Ooh.
This is all somewhat up-to-date news. Do you want to start with the first news?
I'm coming up with the article?
No.
What? I don't know the story.
Would you like to begin?
Yes, is that what you're asking?
That's
me?
what I meant.
Yes, please. Let's begin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tight News Loose Edition.
I don't.
Keeping it loose.
I don't like that.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
available
Yeah. For
learning about.
trying new things.
This is the energy that we need. So we've now discovered we know what lounge desk energy is.
Yeah.
That's what a show is like.
Yeah.
And couch energy is like hanging out and having a beer.
Yeah.
Table energy here is complete chaos.
Some in between.
Yes.
Yeah. We're at the table. You've got a water, no beer. I've got a watermelon limeade from Chipotle.
Yes.
And
which is good.
It was really good. Marshall didn't drink his earlier because I didn't get him a straw.
I'm not drinking out of your dirty cup.
You're ridiculous.
It's just something I've said
it
weirdly often in my life.
Sea turtle, you asshole.
All right, tight news number 1.
Yeah.
Ben, have you heard of Batman?
No, Marshall, tell me more.
So if you just turn around real quick.
Is this going to be one of those bits where he's standing behind me? Oh,
Batman is right there.
Okay.
No, there's comic books there. You can't see that, audience, but there's comic books there. Batman is a comic book character from the comic books, and you know him. And have you seen the movie The Batman?
Yeah.
We talked about the movie The Batman
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Yes.
Here's a clip from that episode.
This is good for me.
What is?
I don't know do we need to do a second take because wow, I feel rusty. Like my jaws are like.
Oil it up,
squeaky.
baby.
You're not going to do that.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Wait. Here's a clip from that episode. I'm waiting for a real answer.
I just started reading The Martian the other night. It was on TV, and I
By
was
Matt
like,
Damon.
By Matt Damon. The Martian by Matt Damon. Yep, it's actually a true story based on Matt Damon's real life experience of being a Martian.
Which clip? Okay.
Listen, man.
Why do you do that to yourself? You give yourself so much more work.
But it's a great episode. Here's another clip.
Feel is the word I'm using.
I want to touch it.
Yeah.
I want to feel the
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt,
Mm-hmm.
the skin of Jabba. Check it out.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty good?
That was a good one. That was my favorite of the clips.
You know what my favorite part is? My
What?
favorite part of that episode is when we're talking about our favorite funny scenes, and they talk about the scene where they interrogate Penguin, and he's talking about Spanish.
El Ratata.
El Ratalata. Let's get a clip of that.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Anyway.
Just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like we gotta get out of here.
You listen here, Bucko.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The world's detective.
Those are some good memories, Ben. And I'm going full Letterman at this point. Give me a pencil.
I'm feeling some Craig Ferguson vibes. Dude, I'll be Jeff.
You're gonna be do the arms.
And then have a harmonica that I randomly blow.
I got a place there.
Such a
good throw
band.
beads.
Oh, bring that man back. I
I want
used
to
to
put
watch that show.
here's that clip.
You ever been to Edinburgh, Jeff?
Oh, hell yeah. I got a place over
You got a
there.
place there? Yeah, what do you do? How often do you get to your place in Edinburgh?
Oh, once a year. You
About
should
once a
come
year?
over.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
What do you do when you get to your place?
I'm laughing again. You throw beads and you go swimming.
Oh,
We're
boy.
finding our voice.
Here's the thing.
We need to find a voice. We don't have a freaking voice. We're just two dudes hanging out, and we gotta find our space in this world.
If we are able to build a set, I've thought about. I'm a big late night TV junkie.
Yeah.
I don't watch any of the shows now because they all suck. There's not a good one. But
That you just discredited your own statement.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
I love David Letterman.
Okay.
I love old Carson clips.
I love Lamp.
I love Craig Ferguson.
Yeah.
I love Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
Late night with Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien on Conan
TBS.
on TBS.
Yeah.
Late show, late night with Letterman.
Uh-huh.
The morning show
Yeah.
that Letterman had.
Okay.
I've seen lots of these things, lots of episodes of these things. I hope I'm in focus. I don't know if I am.
It's fine. Speaking of focus,
But I think
focus.
that it would be a cool thing when we were trying to figure out ways to make the show unique, one of the things that I thought about was what if we made it like a late night format almost, where in this case I would be like the Conan and you would be the Andy,
Okay.
and we would have like a chair at the desk,
Yeah.
and we could have like the wide shot and then a cut to either one of us. And if we were going to build out a set,
Okay.
we could do that really easily.
Yeah.
And how cool would that be?
How would it be that different from what we're doing? We're just channeling energy differently?
Yes.
Is that all it is?
Yes.
Okay. That's great.
Different. I think we've seen very clearly that different sets
Yeah.
have given very different vibes,
vibes.
for the show,
Yeah, that's
even
true.
for us recording.
That's true.
And this already, like we joked, we were thinking about doing like. I mentioned Dick Cavett.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was gonna have another camera set up right here, looking at just me, and I was gonna do my Midwestern Dick Cavett intro of like, tonight I have this person on the show, maybe even more like Tom Snyder if we're talking about like old Johnny Carson era stuff. Sure. Of like, tonight on the show we've got this person and he's done this and this and this, and that's the show. And here he is now, it's this guy. Or James Lipton on Inside the Actors Studio.
Yeah.
Like looking at all of these different things, trying to figure out what would be the coolest thing. This kind of has already created that vibe accidentally. So I think that's interesting.
Can I also be the band leader?
You can be
Every good
Andy.
late night show has a
can
band.
Be, you can be, what was their band leader's name? Max something.
For whom?
I'll be Dave
I am
and you can be Paul.
Questlove.
How funny would it be if we had it set up so I was Letterman at the desk, and if we had a guest, they were at the table next to me, or at the chair next to me, and you were Paul Schaefer way over there, who they would cut to sometimes.
That would be very funny.
Or like in the pandemic when Conan came back and they had Andy in the very back of the theater.
Very fun.
And they didn't even give him like a real mic, he just had to yell.
Dude.
So funny.
His
So
podcast is
good.
really good.
It is good. So, the Batman.
Sheesh. Yeah, okay.
All that to say, we're slowly reformatting and figuring out what we're doing here as I'm reorganizing my house, as Ben is owning a house.
Moving to a new house.
And we might have the lounge there, we might build a set or something and figure that out.
It'd be cool.
It would be cool.
We would have to spend an hour setting up.
We wouldn't have to.
No, that's what I said. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, it'd be great.
We would have to spend an hour setting up?
No, we just sit down and shut up.
It's like it would take longer than an hour to set that up, probably. But it's okay, we can do it.
Anyway.
So, back to the news.
Yeah.
The Batman. It was a great movie, directed by Matt Reeves, starring
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson as the Batman.
Yeah. And Andy Serkis as Gollum.
Thalfred. Speaking of Thalfred and Andy Serkis, I
Yeah.
got a thing about him coming up, sort of, actually.
Did he die?
Not-
Did he die?
Not yet.
What? What's that mean?
He's not dead.
He's not doing well?
Just wait.
Oh my god.
I honestly
I
don't
haven't
even-
read the news all
Listen,
weekend.
I don't even know if he's involved in the thing that I'm going to read, but it's related to him probably. Just shut
What's
up.
that even
Just
mean?
shut up.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. Clayface is reportedly going to be in the Batman
I
2.
don't know what the hell that means.
Clayface is in the comics. So in the first The Batman movie, we had Riddler, who we had not seen on screen before. I am not counting Jim Carrey's horrific performance because he was just playing the Joker. We are now getting, apparently, I believe this is confirmed, Clayface on live action screen in what has up to this point been a very grounded universe.
Okay.
If they are going to do Clayface for real, I will be fascinated to see what they do and how they do that in this grounded
What's his
world.
shtick? What's his thing? Give me like
So-
the 2-second version.
Clayface is actor in most versions. Actor Basil Karlo, who is supposed to be like a old monster movie type, depending on the version.
Okay.
He
A la the thing, a la a la Creature of the Black Lagoon, a la the
like Boris Karloff.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He's an actor.
Okay.
He's not getting parts. He
I see. Okay.
wants to change his. In the animated series, it's that he is like trying to look younger or something and change his face, and he starts using this thing that slowly turns him into this like putty creature essentially.
Hot.
And he's a giant clay creature. I'll put a picture of him right here. That's Clayface, actor Basil Karlo. He has appeared in different media before, notably in Batman Arkham City. He is one of the final bosses, and it's very cool. But it is a character that is in no way grounded in reality, that I would be fascinated to see how they would fit him into this world if they go fantastical with it, and what they would do in the more likely situation.
That feels so
where they would
different than
do
the first
something
movie.
different. Yeah, I really want to see a faithful Clayface of some sort.
Yeah.
But I worry that in the grounded form of that area of the DC world, that they would do a different kind of Clayface, where he's some kind of Mission Impossible mask guy. But I don't really want that.
Because it's too different from the
Yeah, it's
original.
I think that Matt Reeves would do a better job than Chris Nolan calling Tom Hardy Bane, even when he's absolutely not Bane in any way. But I don't know. I'm gonna see it, whatever it is. I just don't know exactly how that's gonna work or what that would be.
Cool.
Speaking of Clayface, Clayface film has been pitched by Mike Flanagan to DC.
Flanagan,
Mike Flanagan, director of Dr. Sleep, as well as director and showrunner for Hunting at Hill House and Bly Manor, the one that's the adaptation of the Turning of the Screw or whatever. Midnight Mass, probably most notably at this point.
Okay.
He's very good.
Cool.
And he does really good horror-ish stuff. And Clayface could easily be like a Cronenberg level
This
body
is the
horror.
same Clayface?
Yes.
Got it.
Presumably. Otherwise, it would be weird
Okay.
to suddenly be having. We're going to have our prestige Clayface movie over here, and a different version of that character is going to simultaneously appear in the Batman
I
number
wouldn't
2.
put anything past DC at this point, so.
I think James Gunn is a smart guy,
Okay.
and I think he wouldn't be weird like that. Do you have any thoughts on any of those things, Ben?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I don't really have any thoughts. That's interesting. Cool.
Are you totally sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Because, Ben, once I move on,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to ask me about it.
I won't ask you about
And
it
if you
ever
do,
again.
I will answer the question.
Is Robert Pattinson back, though?
As far as I know.
Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, I don't have any questions. We can move on.
Okay, go. He also apparently, speaking of Robert Pattinson, this is Penguin News. Our great segment, Penguin News. Laura loves this segment. She
Penguin
loves
News?
penguins.
Really?
Um,
Humboldt, Antarctic, Emperor.
There is an island in South Africa that is just full of penguins.
Yeah.
And man, does she want to go.
Cool. Wow.
It's very fun.
Is that the place where they live in their own poop? They over thousands of years have pooped so much that they burrow into their poop. But the issue is humans showed up and started digging up their poop for fertilizer. Then a bunch of the penguins started dying. So now humans have shown up and given them artificial poop places to live. We can move on. Penguin News.
I just really wanted to let you live in that for a little bit. It's going to be extra funny when I have the jazz and the soundscape in the background. Or I might just fully cut it out.
Cut it. Yeah, you might want to.
I've done that sometimes.
That's good.
If you listen back, I do things that you would not expect.
I know.
There are some Easter eggs in this show if you listen carefully enough. I've put some very subtle sound cues in at times that I don't think anyone has probably picked up on.
Whoa.
That are very small things that I'm very proud of and I think are very funny.
I hope you put in a little sound cue for all the small things right there.
I do sometimes.
Penguin News.
Penguin News. So there is the Penguin HBO show that is happening. It's being filmed right now. And there was a lot of
Go check it
thought
out
that
right here. Being filmed right now.
Here's a shot from it.
Check it out right now.
Here, look, it's Colin Farrell wearing a purple suit with some child or young man. I don't know who it is. There was a lot of thought that Robert Pattinson would not be able to appear in it because there historically has been thought that there was some weird thing around the TV rights to Batman for some reason, which is why he would never show up in live action as Batman in any of these CW
Oh,
shows.
interesting.
When they had Superman, and they would just do everything they could to not have Batman. And then even when Bruce Wayne showed up in Titans, played by Ian Glenn of Game of Thrones, it was just Bruce Wayne. And you never see Batman.
Ah, interesting.
So there's all this weird thought there, and then someone was saying something about how, like, well, you know, Robert Pattinson could appear, but Batman could not because of the TV rights. James Gunn responded to that and said, this is not true.
Sick. James Gunn on Twitter is fire.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I was like, that's interesting. So why the heck have they just been scared to use Batman all these years on TV?
They didn't want to use him up.
That's so strange to me. What a bunch of fools. Speaking of fools, Ike Perlmutter has been laid off at Disney.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's the Marvel
This
guy,
is
right?
really good news.
Is it?
This guy sucks.
I saw a comment on this that it was good that he got fired, but discouraging that the reason he got fired wasn't because he sucks at his job. It's because they're laying off like creative direction stuff.
I think that he was more this is probably just their actual, we have an excuse, essentially, to get rid of him.
Got it.
Because he does suck, and he's stopped a lot of creative building in the past.
Who is this guy for the listeners, Marshall?
Ike Perlmutter was one of the executives at Disney Marvel, who was just an old, crappy guy who sucked and everyone hated him.
Disney Marvel comic book side. Or
No,
all of the Marvel
film.
stuff. Oh, film.
Film and
Okay.
TV.
Got it. Okay.
Specifically, he was over a lot of the TV stuff.
Got it.
Which is why there was a weird division around the TV things, and like there was a lot of like racially insensitive comments from him that have come out over the years of bad things. And like he's the reason that it took about 1,000 years to have a solo female Marvel hero because they don't sell. And, you know, Black Widow didn't do super well, but that's mostly because of the pandemic and because it was released on Disney+. But it's fine.
Yeah.
This guy sucks and he's the worst, and good riddance is what I say. I'm glad that he's gone. Another person that got let go was some woman who, I don't know her name, I'm sorry, was... she was like a VFX supervisor or something at Marvel, and now she's gone. Which to me, good news, because they've had some janky crap lately, and I want it to be good and not bad.
Great. I don't know though.
That's what I think about that. Fight me over it. Come at me for my hot takes. I want to watch good movies and not bad ones. Crucify me.
That was the sassiest thing I've heard you say in a while.
Hey, man.
Okay, just because Easter's coming up doesn't mean you can be all, oh, look, there's Easter eggs in the podcast. Crucify me, crucify me. I'm Marshall. It's Easter. Anyway.
You can't tell them that this podcast is just a long con for evangelism.
Can you imagine?
Don't let them know.
I'd be doing a horrible
that'd
job.
Be the worst.
I'd-
Yeah. Come to church with me.
I'd quit. I'd quit.
Speaking of coming to church, you want to hear about House of the Dragon Season 2?
Yeah.
Very church-friendly show. House of the Dragon Season 2 will be 8 episodes long instead of 10. Cut down for story reasons, and will likely premiere summer of 2024. Did you watch House of the Dragon? I'm
Two
glad.
episodes.
2 episodes?
Yeah.
Which ones? First and second one? First and last one?
First and second.
First will be last, and last will be first?
Preach, bruv. Evangelical.
Boom. Boom.
That's the kingdom.
Bringing it back.
Of Kingdom of Thrones.
Kingdom of Thrones.
No, I watched episode 1 and 2. It's pretty good. It's fine.
I think it's very good. We won't get into the quality.
Okay.
I think that it was very, very, very good. I like the show quite a bit. Me and Laura would watch it every Sunday, and then we would watch an episode of Ted Lasso to
Cleanse your souls.
cleanse our souls.
Yeah, sure.
And it was actually very nice.
Good.
It was like, this is a good day.
That's
Because we watch these people, these horrible people making horrible decisions, and then we swap over to mostly good people making mostly good decisions.
That's nice.
And
isn't
it's very good.
It's good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Anyway, so eight episodes.
8 episodes
not
instead of 10. I think that's good. I don't think that this season was bloated in any way. It felt like it was moving kind of fast at times with how many like time jumps they did.
Gotcha.
Of like, it's been 5 years since the last episode, and now it's been 10 years or 11 or 15.
Got it.
Like, what is going on? And they don't explicitly tell you in any of it. It's not like 10 years later. It's always, you get some dialogue of like, well, you're 12 months along in your pregnancy. And you're like, what? That was last episode. You just didn't even have a child inside
You
there.
gotta be watching.
It's crazy. But I think that it's good. Like, if however long you need your story to be is how long you should make your show.
Got it.
I really like that in the world of streaming today that things are much more dictated by the story rather than an episode quota, it seems.
Right.
Where we're just writing it, and like The Mandalorian is a really good example, or all these Disney shows of there's not a standard length for any of them.
Right.
Every single week it's like, this episode of The Mandalorian is the longest one there's ever been. Like, oh, cool. That's a really weird headline. Like, why? It's bizarre that is the headline, that we are getting varying times for this thing.
That's interesting.
But it makes sense. Why, outside of network programming, would you need to constrain to a 22-minute to a 40-minute format?
Wow. The first time I ever realized that was actually Game of Thrones, back when it was coming out.
When it's like, because it's actually an hour.
Yeah, right. Or like, yeah, I guess I was just realizing back in my OG pirating days when I didn't have HBO, just like, episode length of, oh yeah, this is like not necessarily for network, or like, yeah, interesting.
Well, because even that stuff was, and that did vary a little bit, but like these Disney shows are all over the park.
Yeah,
It's like, this one is 30 minutes long with 8 minutes of credits.
depending on the story. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's fascinating, huh? Cool.
But it works for me.
Yeah.
I don't want just a bunch of unnecessary padding just because we have to meet our amount of episodes that there are per a season, per the network's quota, because they have to run this many ads and all these different things.
Right.
Like, if there needs to be 8 episodes of Game of Thrones and 3 of them are just about a dragon running around in circles and having fun, and that's the story they want to tell, okay.
Wow, and that's the plot of Avatar 3.
Avatar 3.
James Cameron.
The Fire
A
Nation.
bunch of dragons running around having fun.
I would watch that. I'd be more interested in that than whatever he's actually gonna do.
Yeah.
You wanted the next piece of news, speaking of HBO?
Yeah.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, likely ending with season 12.
Oh wow, okay.
Have you watched Curb?
Episodes here and there. I get the point. I get I understand. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, I get it. But I would like to watch it more. I just don't turn it on, I guess.
I think that you would like it quite a bit. For people out there who don't know what Curb Your Enthusiasm is, this is Larry David, creator of Seinfeld, his show that he does on HBO that is basically Seinfeld if it could just be rated whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
And it's
mostly
Seinfeld
unscripted.
Oh, it is completely unscripted.
Got it.
The only thing that they have as a roadmap is a detailed plot synopsis that Larry writes, and then everything on the day, there is no dialogue written. They just completely make it up on the day.
That's so insane.
Yeah, and it creates some really interesting, fascinating moments of comedy that you would not get otherwise.
Yeah.
Where you can really tell that they're riffing. And that's what Seinfeld feels like, which is interesting. But in this case, it's just that cadence that is the way that like Aaron Sorkin has a feel to his writing. Larry's the same way, where every character just kind of becomes a Larry surrogate in some way because they're just matching each other's energy in this improv state. And it's really, really chaotic, but it's really entertaining.
Cool.
And JB Smoove is fantastic. Yeah, it's likely going to be finished in season 12, which is fine. Like, it's not as good as it used to be. It's still very good, but I don't think I even finished the last season. I should go back and watch it because I really love the show, and it hasn't really diminished. I just like...
You get to the point where...
Yeah, we're just keeping going.
Yeah.
But there's some really good episodes in there. Some really good stuff. There's a whole arc about, like, Larry becomes friends with... he plays a version of himself, a heightened version of himself. And he becomes friends with Michael J. Fox, but it becomes this weird rivalry where... like Michael J. Fox, he thinks he did something to upset him, but he doesn't know, and he goes over to apologize to him, and he's like, oh, okay, man, no, you're good. And then he goes to hand him a soda, and he opens it up, and it just explodes everywhere and fizzes everywhere, and he's like, what the heck, man? And Michael J. Fox is like, Parkinson's, I don't know, dude. But it's just like that kind of stuff where like Lin-Manuel Miranda comes on and they have an actual like a duel with paintballs and stuff like that.
That's
and everything
awesome.
like Hamilton.
Sure.
And gosh, there's some other really good. One of my favorite bits that they did an episode about a Palestinian chicken place.
Okay.
that came into town that is so good, and everyone loves it. But the whole thing is a comment on the Israel-Palestine thing, where they're all Jewish.
Right.
So they're like, we can't go there. It's like, at least we can't be seen there. Because I think it was like right around Hanukkah or Yom Kippur or something like that. And at the same time, like they're trying to sneak in there without anybody noticing them because they're famous and everything. And then Larry's cousin, I think, or something, played by, rest in peace, Super Dave Osborne, who's very funny in this. He is just like all about being Jewish again, and he's gone super into it, and he's wearing his yarmulke, and he's like, let's go, guys. And they're like, you got to take that off. You can't do that in here. It's like, what do you mean? Like, what's the deal? And it's very good. And it gets to this thing where this place is being protested, and Larry gets caught between the picket lines of like, it's like they have their own Israel-Palestine conflict.
Bank.
Yes, it's very well done.
Gotcha. Wow.
The show is very clever, and I love it a lot. If you are okay with some raunchy stuff and some, basically, if you like Seinfeld and you don't mind stuff that's rated R, you should check out Curb. If you don't like either of those things, don't watch it, because you will not like it. That's just the facts. I'm sorry. Speaking of HBO, Matthew McFadden, who plays Tom Wamsgams in Succession.
I would love to watch Succession. I think I would like it a lot.
It's
been on my list, dude. Oh my gosh.
Matthew McFadden, you would probably more know him as Mr. Darcy.
Oh, okay.
In the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yep.
He's been cast in Deadpool 3.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
As what?
Cool.
Deadpool. Just kidding. I have no idea. But how weird would that be?
That would be weird.
I don't know who he would possibly be. Probably some X-Men adjacent character. Maybe Mr. Sinister.
Cool.
I could see that. You know all about Mr. Sinister.
Nope.
You look just like him. Here's a picture.
Sinister.
You can watch it back and see that you look so much like him.
Wow, okay.
But that's all I have to say about that. Do you have any questions about
Nope,
Deadpool 3?
I haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet. Oopsie poopsie.
I don't really care about these movies.
Yeah. The first one was fun. Yeah. It was just like the time and place that it was in. And then like everybody and their mom thought it was awesome. And then it was kind of like, yeah.
What if I was, you know what my least favorite thing in the world is?
Ryan Reynolds advertisements for Mint Mobile.
He just sold Mint Mobile.
I heard that. Speaking
billions
of news,
of dollars.
yeah, wow, really that startup culture, dude.
Crazy.
Honestly, being a freaking famous person, so easy. Like, pay money to slap your name on something.
Yeah.
He did that with Mint Mobile. He did that with Aviation Gin.
He just sold Aviation as well.
And it's like, okay, I bought this thing. I'm famous, Ben, and I just bought this pizza place. Oh, David Dobrik just did that. Yeah, it's called Dobrik's.
Is he still
canceled?
alive?
I don't freaking know. I don't care about that dude. I'm famous Ben, and I just bought this keyboard company, and I'm gonna film all of these funny videos because I'm famous by my keyboard gamer nerds. And then
you have to be likable though, so you would have probably some issues, and whereas Ryan Reynolds would not.
Right.
And
Okay.
hasn't.
Okay. So let's say it's Ryan. Anyway, so you freaking just advertise the piss out of it.
Yeah.
You make it profitable, and then you sell it.
Yeah.
And make a butt ton of money.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do that with Wrexham. Who knows?
I don't think they will. I think that they're very heavily invested in that. At least Rob for sure is.
Yeah.
Next piece of news. You know who Ryan Coogler is?
I know the name. What's he do? Gosh, I'm just like really out of it, dude. I told you I didn't have my phone all weekend. I know who Ryan Coogler is.
Director.
Of the Breakfast
writer?
Club.
Nope.
Starts
with B.
Brokeback Mountain.
Nope.
Babes in Toyland.
How did you know?
Babe.
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
So Ryan
Oh, thank
Coogler
you.
directed Creed 1 and 2 and Black Panthers 1 and 2. I know. He did not direct Black Panther. No, Creed 3. That was Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
He did have story credit on it.
This is very embarrassing that I didn't know that.
It's fine. You don't need
know
to
the
know.
name. I knew the name. I knew the name.
He is apparently, this is very big for me, maybe, developing a new X-Files series with a diverse cast.
Whoa.
this could be really cool.
Is it going to be like network, like CBS or whatever? What was the X-Files on?
It's on Hulu right now, so I don't know what it was on originally, actually.
Okay, cool.
I couldn't say.
ABC owns Hulu.
It
But
might
that
have
doesn't
been
mean
ABC.
anything. With
It feels
Hulu.
like a Fox show or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so diverse X-Files.
I think that this could be really good. It could also just be nothing. Like revivals, there was recently a revival of the X-Files that like just ended, and there was some good stuff in it. Apparently, I have not watched it myself.
Okay.
I don't know.
Whatever happened to Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone?
That's the thing that I was going to bring up, is that revivals of classic shows like that don't usually tend to work super well. In the case of the Twilight Zone, there were weird things because, like, for one, the format was different. It was an hour-long show, not a 20-minute show. The original Twilight Zone had that same problem. There's, like, season 4, they moved to an hour-long format for various reasons. It was not very good. It was kind of weird, and they moved back to the regular stuff.
Gotcha.
You can't even really find those episodes a lot of places. I don't think they're on Netflix with the rest of the episodes of Twilight Zone.
Whoa.
It's weird. It was also because like it was on streaming and it's modern and it can be rated anything. So we're watching Twilight Zone, but people are like dropping the F-bomb and it's got like really mature content in it. And it like the original show was very mature and grown up, but it wasn't like there wasn't vulgarity and stuff. So it felt different. And I'm not like a prude. I'm not like against, you can't say bad words.
You literally just recommended Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I did just and there's
And
some
you
really raunchy stuff in
You
Curb.
watched House of the Dragon with your fiance.
Yes, I did.
Sinner.
Yep. But it just felt weird as a Twilight Zone thing. Some of the episodes were very good and some were not quite as good. It also, like, you can't replace Rod Serling. Rod Serling was that show. He wrote almost every single episode.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And his story is crazy. Like, he was in World War II? No. I don't remember what war he was in, but he was like the only person to survive in his squad, and he came back and had all this like head trauma and everything.
World War II would make sense. What else would it be?
I don't remember. I mean, Korean War.
I guess so. Anyway.
I don't know. But he was just a fascinating guy, and hearing him talk was really interesting. His voice alone was fascinating. And Jordan Peele is a really unique voice in horror, but the Twilight Zone isn't necessarily horror anthology. It's just science fiction anthology. And it can go any direction with that. And we're talking too much about the Twilight Zone, which is not what we were going to talk about here.
Yeah.
The X-Files, there are ways that this could work. The X-Files is a much more modern show. And I think having like cursing and stuff like that would not be as off-putting. It was already an hour-long show. Presumably it would be an hour-long show. So that would not be different and off-putting. What would be strange is that not knowing how the show ends and what they would be picking up from necessarily, assuming that it's, gosh, what is it? Does it say it's a new X-Files series? So it doesn't say it's like picking up in the same universe or if it's a fresh start.
Okay.
I hope that it's the same universe. I don't want to do a reboot of Scully and Mulder. That would be weird. I don't know where it ends, but the X-Files is not a department of the FBI. The conceit of this show is that Mulder, played by David Duchovny, is this guy who believes in paranormal, in aliens, and all of that, and he is kind of relegated to the basement because this is the stuff that he investigates, and we don't want anything to do with him. And he investigates what are called the X-Files because they are unexplainable. And we don't know what's going on with this case. We got a really old X-File that matches this murder that just happened in Pensacola or whatever. Pensacola was what I was trying to say.
Pensacola.
I mean, it's just like these weird random nowhere places that these episodes happen in a lot of the time.
Okay.
And that's the conceit of the show. And then Scully is a FBI agent as well, a medical doctor, and she is assigned essentially to spy on him and keep him in check, but very quickly becomes on his side and everything. And having a continuation of that, I don't know how that would work because that is unique to these two specific characters. There's not an X-Files, and again, maybe there is by the time the show ends in season like 11 or whatever, but there's not like a department that investigates this. It's not like just we're gonna be the new guys in the X-Files area.
Got it.
It is Mulder and Scully are the singular people.
So a
who do
reboot
this.
feels weird.
If a reboot would make more sense in that way, but I would hope that it would be a continuation of whatever was happening, because I don't want to see these iconic characters recast, especially when there is so much mythology built up in this world and all of these iconic monsters and everything. I don't want to do a reboot that's just like, look, we're doing our version of that story now. And we have our unique stories, but every once in a while, now we're doing the Jersey Devil episode, and which is a bad one. That's a bad example. That episode sucks. Now we're doing the episode that's just a clear ripoff of The Thing, but it's really good.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I have very mixed emotions about it. Ryan Coogler is very good. And diverse cast, I'm for. Especially because, like, the X-Files traditionally has not always... It just really has not been good with racial and cultural stereotypes, with the, like, mysteries they would investigate. There would be, you know... There's an episode that is all about voodoo that is just regardless of racial insensitivity of any sort, it is just one of the worst, most boring episodes in the entire show, and just goes nowhere. There's episodes about there's all kinds of different social commentary and different subject matter they get into, but every time they get into something that is some kind of like ethnic folklore of some sort, it doesn't ever quite work when they're actually doing the real thing.
Gotcha.
If it's like, we think it's this, and then in reality it's just some nefarious guy. Because sometimes that is the show. It's not always a monster. Googly eyes.
Scooby-Doo style.
Yeah. But, I don't know, the voodoo thing is weird. They get into, like, Asian stuff every once in a while, which is really hard not to get into weird stereotypes when you get into Asian spirituality.
Yeah.
And if you're not going the route of Big Trouble in Little China, where that's the whole point, is that it's stupid and over the top, it's rough.
That's funny. That just popped into my brain. I was wondering maybe we should do a cinema lounge on that. That could be interesting.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Sweet.
We can watch it.
Okay, cool.
Jack Burton.
It's great.
It's very good.
Saw it when I was a child, so.
So I don't know.
Okay.
I think that Ryan Coogler and a diverse cast could be a really interesting way to do some of these episodes that are more racially charged and more based on folklore from a specific region, as opposed to it's aliens, or it's werewolf, or it's vampires, or it's cockroaches, which is one of the best episodes of this show. If you're gonna watch like one episode, watch War of the Caraphages, because it's hilarious and really weird.
Great.
So I don't know.
Huh. Cool.
That's what I think about that.
Coogler. The Cougs.
The Cougs. You want to watch the next movie that I'm going to talk about? You want to talk about the next movie we're going to look at?
I would like to hear about the movie before I say I'm going to watch it.
Okay, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is in development.
Oh,
They're making
that was
another
the
Apes
Circus
movie.
news.
Yes,
oh,
it is.
Cool. Is it with who's directing or writing or whatever?
That's all I know.
Oh, cool. It's just in development.
Yep.
Cool. Was that expected, not expected? I didn't watch the most recent one.
I didn't either, and I know that it's supposed to be really, really good.
I heard that like every single one like got a little bit better, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think they're fantastic.
Wait, which one did Reeves? Which ones? Multiple? Did Reeves do the first two?
He did 2 and 3, I believe.
2 and 3. Okay.
Yeah, the
which
first one was
I
somebody
like
else.
better than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
The first one was setting up that world, and then they get into Ape Town.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think it's crazy.
Baby. Welcome to Ape Town. Yeah, cool. That's exciting. So Andy Serkis isn't dead.
Probably not.
That was such. I was nervous about that the whole episode.
Computer, is Andy Serkis dead?
Andy Serkis is still alive. He is 58 years old.
Great.
He's 58 years old.
Good for him.
Computer, is Gene Hackman dead?
Oh no.
Gene Hackman is still alive. He is 93 years old.
Why did you ask that?
Just wondered.
Speaking of Gene Hackman, can we do like a Mel Brooks movie sometime? Is he in? He's in Blazing Saddles, right? He's not. Why did I think that? I heard a quote recently where
Computer,
Oh,
is Gene Wilder alive?
no.
August 28, 2016, Stanford,
Come on,
Connecticut.
dude.
At the age of 8.
Should have known that.
I did know that. I'm making a fool of you because
No.
you confused Gene Hackman and Gene Wilder.
No, I just saw. I was listening to an interview. I was about to explain myself. I just heard an interview recently where Mel Brooks said that Gene Hackman was one of the funniest people he's met.
I can believe that.
History of the World Part 2. We should talk History of the World Part 1.
I started watching it. I'm not amazed by it.
Okay, whatever, Marshall.
It's not.
It's because you're a Monty
amazing.
Python guy.
I am Monty Python guy.
You're not Mel Brooks guy.
I like Mel Brooks.
Whatever, dude.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
Liv Tyler is returning as Betty Ross in Captain America: New World Order.
Okay. What does that mean to me?
That is the love interest of Bruce Banner,
Oh, cool.
daughter
Yes.
of
Whatever. Aerosmith, bro.
in real life, yes.
Oh, you're talking
In-
about that character.
Yes, of Thunderbolt Ross, who was played by William Hurt, who has now passed away.
Rick.
He was very good. You know who's going to be playing Thunderbolt Ross in this movie as the president?
Give me a hint.
His name starts with Harrison
Harrison
and ends with Ford.
Ford.
No, Ben.
Huh.
It's Harrison Ford.
Oh my gosh. What?
Harrison Ford is going to be playing him, which is really cool. Hopefully he becomes a big Red Hulk.
Cool. Whoa, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm here for old man Harrison Ford still doing things.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Have you watched Shrinking?
But I hear I haven't yet. I heard good things.
It's good.
Okay.
He's probably the best part of
Was
it,
there a
honestly.
debate about whether it be Harrison Ford or somebody else for that role? I think I remember seeing that on the internet.
For
nowadays.
what?
For the lightning bolt.
Thunderbolt Ross?
Lightning port charger Ross.
I mean, maybe a while ago. He's been confirmed for a long time now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But that's news.
That's news?
Yeah.
You sound really disappointed.
I just don't care about it.
Any news? Wait,
I just don't care anymore, Ben.
are you done with it? Wait, that's news, like this segment's over, the show's over?
I don't want to.
We just ended on such a down note. Are you okay?
No, there's.
You're just like, you just said you don't care. I thought you said, that's the news, I'm done. I don't care anymore.
Well, guys,
That's been the show.
thank you for listening.
I've been Ben.
And shut up. No, there's more news. In fact, there are two pieces of news that I need to hear your reaction to.
Okay.
There's another
I'll give you a
piece
good
of news.
reaction. Here we
Okay.
go. Get sure read the
This
news.
next piece of news is not one of those two pieces of news. I have three left. I'm skipping one because I don't think it's very interesting.
Okay. Give me one and then I'll give you two reactions after that.
Okay.
So I'm not
Here-
reacting to this one?
You don't have to.
Okay, great.
You're not contractually required to react to this news.
Great.
Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 soundtrack has been released.
I'm not reacting.
I mean, that was a reaction.
I'm not reacting.
You just, when you say that, you're reacting.
Man, I can't react to that. What's on the soundtrack?
All right, let's look at
What's
that
the
real
vibe? What's the vibe? Vibe check.
quick. So he gets a Zune at the end of the last one.
Oh yeah.
So
oh, wow.
presumably that means we
That
all thought,
is my
okay,
childhood.
is he going to get music from the 80s or something? Or not the 80s, from the 90s?
90s, 2000s.
Well, good news. Yes. So I will read you off what we have here. Badlands, Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Great song. Come and Get Your Love by Redbone.
It's back.
Re-recorded version.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Whoa. Oh.
That won't work.
Okay, so
We'll find out
mystery
later.
There. Audience go listen to audience.
I Will Dare by The Replacements.
Okay.
Don't know that song. Dog Days Are Over, Florence and the Machine.
Sweet.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Beastie Boys.
Nice.
It's a good one. This Is the Day by The
I'm not familiar.
Poor Girl by X.
Okay.
San Francisco by the Mowglis.
Oh, nice. That's a commercial.
Oh.
It just be like that song. It just makes me think of commercials.
I'm Always Chasing Rainbows by Alice Cooper.
Okay.
Koinu no Carnival from Minute Waltz by EHAMIC.
I'm unfamiliar.
Me too. We Care a Lot by Faith No More.
Okay.
Do You Realize by The Flaming Lips. Reasons by Earth, Wind, and Fire. In the Meantime by Space Hog. Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow.
Cool.
Crazy on You by Heart.
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborne. First, we attack his heart.
That one is gonna accompany a great scene.
Fight scene.
Like,
yeah.
Crazy on You.
It's gonna be good.
That'll be good. This one, acoustic. I will have to listen to this because I don't think I've heard the acoustic version of this. Creep by Radiohead.
Oh, nice. I have heard.
I'm a huge Radiohead fan.
Yeah, me too.
You are?
Not huge, but I like Radiohead.
Okay.
I like Kid A. It's probably the album I've listened to the most.
Really?
Yeah.
In Rainbows is probably my favorite.
Okay. I haven't listened to that
Kid
one.
A is an interesting choice.
I don't know. I think it's kind of fun.
I mean, it's very good.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised to hear you not say OK Computer
Yeah.
or In Rainbows. That's interesting.
I just have listened the most to Kid A.
You're so special. You like
I
Kid
think
A.
I maybe had. Did I have
King-
the whole album on my Sony Walkman growing up? Maybe. Speaking of Zunes.
King of Limbs is my favorite.
Okay. I don't.
Just
know.
kidding. King of Limbs is no one's favorite.
Oh.
Because it's not very good.
All right.
I think that's a really good mix. I think that's really cool stuff. I'm a big Radiohead fan, so I kind of wish there was a more Radiohead song than Creep.
Sure.
But if it's gonna, restrain itself to the era that it has to restrain itself to, it wouldn't be able to do any of the more, at this point, well, not well known because no Radiohead song is more well known than Creep, but better Radiohead songs.
That scene's gonna make me cry, boy.
This is my. What the heck was that? I don't know what that was.
X-Files.
Can't whistle. So that's that news. I think that's a really good mix. I'm excited to see what that ends up being.
Great. That comes out this summer, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
probably.
I think so.
Next, okay, I'm gonna do the craziest piece of news last.
Okay, so I'm reacting to these two now.
Yep. You know how Disney's doing live action remakes
What?
of like a bunch of their
Sorry,
stuff?
that was my reaction. I'll try again. Sorry. Yes.
You can wait you'll know when I say the thing that you're supposed to react to.
Okay. Yeah, I know how they're doing live action remakes.
Like they did.
Like Lilo and freaking Stitch. Is that the news? Because that is so stupid.
No, Ben, it's gonna get worse.
Lilo and Stitch is a horrible live action choice. The whole point, the whole way it works is because freaking cartoons. You telling me that remember that scene where the two aliens are walking around in like a muumuu and like a tourist outfit?
Yes.
You're gonna tell me that's gonna work in a live action?
I don't know.
And people, I'm supposed to just suspend belief that people would like not see that and be like, what?
I would see that and think that was totally normal.
Shut up, Marshall.
Ben, it's gonna get so much worse.
All
than
right,
that.
sorry. I'm back to straight face, Ben. There's no reaction.
Here is the deal.
Okay.
They're they're doing these live action remakes of what we would consider older classics, right?
Yeah.
Even Lilo Stitch at this point is kind of an older classic.
Sure, like anything before 2005.
Yeah,
Okay.
it makes more sense though that they're doing like Snow White and they did Cinderella.
Can I guess
and
something?
Beauty and the Beast.
If they do live action Finding Nemo, I'd lose my shiz.
I would love
that would be awesome.
Ben-
It's a freaking nature documentary of clownfish.
I think it's they've done The Lion King, so they could do it.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think this is the worst possible thing they could do.
I'm back to straight face, Ben.
We are getting,
Okay.
with the main two cast members reprising their roles in live action,
Okay.
Moana.
It feels like it just came out like, I know it's been a while actually. It's like, what, 20?
But has it?
It's like 2016 or 17 or
And
something.
who is asking for this? Who wants this besides The Rock?
Okay, I was gonna say I was gonna guess the two reprising their roles. Gotta be
The Rock and I believe the girl who's
Moana?
playing Moana.
What does Dwayne The Rock Johnson just get what he wants at this point?
He just does whatever he
He kind of
throws
turned
money
into
around.
a bad guy. He was like a good guy in the theaters, and
He
maybe
turned heel.
wasn't.
Going back to WWE, man, he turned heel.
Wow, yeah. Give us the people's elbow. If he gives us the people's elbow in live action Moana, I'd be about it.
Well, what do you think about this live action Moana?
Is this like
It doesn't matter what you think about live action Moana, jabroni.
Yeah, jabroni. You take off your sunglasses. Yeah. I thought you were setting me up for like a soundbite for the Instagram. Like, what do you think about the live action Moana? And then
I mean, I kind of did because I did his. It doesn't matter is his thing.
you got my ass.
Here's the thing. this serves no purpose and I don't want it.
Yeah, it's
The older ones like Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, I can understand and I can get down on that to a point because you can look at that and say it's a different interpretation.
Yeah.
And you can say that it's a new version.
Yeah.
Moana is so recent
Yeah.
that what are you going to do differently? What are you going to interpret differently?
Yeah.
To me, it just invalidates the work that the animators did. It says that animation is not up to snuff and that animation does not stand on its own, that it's not worthwhile unless we have a live action
Here's the
thing.
issue, Marshall, is they have all... Did they release a sing-along version with the words on the screen in theaters?
Probably.
If they have, then the next thing is only live action.
But there's no reason to do it except for
But
money.
would you rather Moana 2?
Yes.
Like Frozen 2?
Yes.
Imagine if Frozen 2 hadn't come out yet and then they were making a live action Frozen and at the same, like, you know, substitute Frozen 2 with live action Frozen. That'd be funny. That'd be weird, right? I feel like that feels similar to me.
I would rather see Moana 2.
Yeah.
I just
Like,
think
tell a
that
different story. Yeah.
I think that what this says to me is that Disney does not value animation as a medium. Because if this story that is like not even probably 5 years old is not good enough for them to stand on its own as a film the way that it is, and they have to turn this into live action, that just feels almost disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That is pretty strange.
I don't like it.
Well, also, like, what's their new animated thing that they're like hyping up right now?
I don't know.
Is there anything that they're like teasing?
I mean,
I feel like Seeing Red kind of flopped, right? Didn't it?
Turning Red.
Turning Red. Yeah.
But, I mean, that is the thing. All of the Disney Studios animated stuff, and even Pixar, is kind of going by the wayside now.
But they're
Strange World,
because they like freaking like instant released it to Disney Plus.
yeah, they're doing some weird stuff. And one, they didn't advertise Strange World at all
Yeah, and it was bad.
until it suddenly was happening,
Yeah.
and no one knew what it was. Turning Red, no one knew what it was, and it didn't even look like it was a Disney animation.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for different visual styles, but it was just like it seemed too separate from that world. I don't know.
Here's what I would like to see. The one thing that Moana could be cool with a live action version is that I think like the set pieces could be really cool. I think Island Polynesia stuff could be cool, but here's what's gonna happen is they're gonna like do 95% of the movie on like a soundstage green screen, and it's not gonna be that cool.
Yeah.
So,
And I just don't want to see The Rock.
Yeah.
I don't care about The Rock. Also, are they gonna give him the hair?
Oh.
Because I do not want to see that. I don't want to see that. I'm begging
Marshall,
you not
I've been
to show me
telling
that.
you for years, and by years I mean maybe years,
Yeah.
that we need to watch every single Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie.
I don't want to.
I'm gonna make a list for us on Letterboxd.
There's good ones.
Shameless plug. Go follow us on Letterboxd. But I'm gonna make a list and we're gonna watch through them all.
Okay.
Okay. And we're gonna have a podcast episode called Dwayne The Rock Johnson Rocks.
Dwayne the
Don't
Rock.
say it.
I'm
Don't
not
say
gonna.
it.
I'm not really
Don't
almost
say
thought
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Here's your last
Final thing.
piece of news, Ben.
Okay. This is. I'm also reacting to this one, so you get my face ready.
Speaking of rebooting things,
Yeah.
HBO.
A boot. Something with a boot. Das Boot. Das Boot reboot.
HBO is doing a full reboot, beginning to end,
Okay.
every season representing one of the books.
Oh,
Harry Potter.
What? What? Hold on, sorry. They're rebooting?
They are redoing Harry Potter 1 through 7 as an HBO series, every season being one of the books.
Bull crap, really?
Yes.
Nah, are you serious?
There's been
How
so
did I miss
much
that?
there's been so much weird news today and yesterday that I had to double check was not April Fools.
Is that real?
That is real.
That's weird.
It's very weird.
I feel like the one thing I see with that is like I think there is like a lot in the books that they kind of could go into more detail on.
Yeah.
But why? You read the books. If you don't want the movies, then read the books. You're not gonna watch the TV show
either.
But there's enough people that rewatch the movies in my life that they'd probably watch that. I guess they'd also, are they gonna cast kids again and then like take them through the 7 years, like start with adolescence? And
I don't know.
Why not take a different story if you want it? Like, apparently there's a lot of stuff in the Potter universe you can go for. Why do it again?
I just don't even know what I want to say about it. I'm just discouraged by its existence. J.K. Rowling is involved.
Out of all, see, now that's gonna be a whole shoot.
Yeah,
storm.
it's not going to get watched by a whole swath of the world.
Yeah, with how much stupid pushback there was on
Just Hogwarts Legacy.
On Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
Like game reviews just giving it 0 out of 10 or 1 out of 10 for the sake of like the statement of it. It's not gonna go
no
well.
actual publications were doing
Yeah.
that, but like it was getting review bombed for that.
No, that's
reason.
not true. There was freaking what's the one that starts with a K?
Kotaku?
Kotaku gave it a
Really?
1 out of 10. Yeah, they were like, for the principle of it, we can't like give it
just
more than that.
don't review it.
I might be lying about it being Kotaku, but it was one of the major publishers. We're like, we're like 1 out of 10.
That's a weird decision.
Yeah, fine.
Like if I don't care if Adolf Hitler made this video game and every single
Okay, Mein Kampf the video game.
if you are morally objected to it,
Yeah.
don't review it. Like just write a statement against it saying that you're morally objected to it. Don't make a weird petty review
Okay.
that doesn't actually reflect what you believe the quality. If you think that Mein Kampf is the best book of all
People don't
time,
click on that.
they don't. But you could write a statement and say like why we are refusing to review.
You
Hogwarts
are
Legacy.
being very logical with this.
Yeah.
But that's where you were wrong.
It's so
Anyway,
bizarre
it's
of a
not gonna
choice.
go well. A show.
I just don't get it.
Go read a book.
I don't
Frick.
want it. I don't want it, and I'm not. I'll probably watch it.
I feel mixed right now.
Because they also have they're trying to do their whole Wizarding World and universe and everything, and
They
Hogwarts
just-
Legacy was
they
so
just-
intensely directly based on the
Yeah.
world of the movies as well.
Fun fact: they just opened up a new Hogwarts museum theme parky thing in Japan.
Yeah.
They be out of the UK and the US. Japan is like next up for like weird Harry Potter fandom.
So strange.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand what this would be, seeing as how they have dug in so hard on this universe that Chris Columbus started.
Yeah.
I'm confused by it, and I don't know what it would be. I'm totally out of focus.
That's okay. In
I
more
might
ways than one.
I don't want to scrap the video, but if I'm totally out of focus, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna keep
You're
it.
so vain. Has anybody ever farted on these microphones yet?
They might have. Thank you everyone for listening. Did you do it?
Pretty gross.
Man,
I didn't fart on it.
I'm gonna cut
Adjacent.
this whole episode out.
So
Ben,
yeah.
Harry Potter is fine. I'm not passionate about it. You know who we should call? Get his thoughts?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Connor Brand,
Oh, is he a Harry Potter boy?
Harry Potter boy.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Gentlemen. All right. Well,
thanks everyone for listening to this episode. This has been news. I hope you liked it.
loose news.
I hope you like me. It helped myself. I feel sad and
Marshall.
inside.
Why?
'Cause no one wants to be my friend.
I will be here for you
I'll be there for you.
when the rain starts to fall.
I'll be there for you.
Yeah. So next episode, we're gonna be reviewing Inside Out.
No.
And all right.
I don't like Inside Out.
Wow. Okay. I wanted to revisit it. I want to revisit it as a night, as a thing.
I don't. Feel free.
All right. And that's been the news.
Next week will be John Wick 4. So thank you for listening. Check out John Wick 4.
We should have done John Wick for this.
I don't care.
Okay. John Wick 4. Check it out. Finger guns.
News toast.
News toast.
Here's to the news. It's new.
Here's to the news. Here is to what is a fun piece of news I heard today. Tornadoes in the South. This is dating this episode. Tornadoes in the South. Trump's indictment. The Final Four of men and women's tournament. The women's tournament Final Four had the most views ever of the women's basketball Final Four. Yes, basketball. Sorry. That was here's to that equality getting there, maybe. And that's the news. Here's to springtime and love.
Ben, here's to the newsmen, the newswomen, the news people, the news dogs. They might be out there, and I want to respect them. I respect all the news people. I respect all the late night people except for James Corden. And I want to be a late night talk show host. And let's dink it. And let's think it.
News!
10 out of 10 episode, everyone. I've been Marshall.
I've been Ben.
And there's my Duolingo alarm going off again. Actually, that's my call Laura alarm.
Oh no.